blue states, mainly the blue states, that consider themselves sanctuary cities and sanctuary states. It has come to my attention that the cities and the states who consider themselves sanctuary cities and states are tax violators. It comes to my attention. This is according to the United States Supreme Court. Previous docket rulings. Sure, the states and the union are protected under the 14th Amendment, not under a status of sanctuary. There's no sanctuary from taxation. Obviously, everybody heard of Alfonso Capone. I don't know why any member of Congress, or the Senate, or the House of Representatives have filed a motion to the United States Supreme Court to end sanctuary cities and states. The reason why no one have done that is because the government itself is under a stronghold of Israel. Being under a stronghold of Israel will make it difficulty for any member of a black caucus to file an independently motion to the United States Supreme Court and argue the status of undocumented migrants, illegally those who have committed criminal offense who are not citizens that's in America, to be immediately deported and removed from the soil of this nation, the United States of America. This had gotten way out of control, is that now a large part of the government is under control by a foreign entity, and that will be Israel. So when the Palestinians World Court had ruled that Israel is not what they claim they are, people should take heed. Obviously, those Israel people are not Israelites. That's for certain. And they're not the original Jews or the Hebrew African Jews. That's for certain. But they are human beings, and they should have a right and a place in this world just like everyone else. If sinful acts is committed, according to man's law, sinful acts of crime will be punishable by man's law. The sickening of it is that when you have the so-called black, and I don't know why they still use them black, they ashamed to use the title African because they are the descendants of African slaves that existed in America. But they still chose to consider themselves black and use the title black. That's black. That's black. That's black. So the way I see it is that someone need to argue the issue of sanctuary in the United States Supreme Court. And by arguing the sanctuary status, sanctuary, according to biblical scriptures, is only based on religious principles. One who want to get the religious hibernation from being apprehended or being charged or being in someone else's custody or even being a violator. Case in point, Manuel Noriega of Panama. When they realized that the U.S. Army wasn't pussyfooting around, they decided to release him in the hands of the custody of America. Okay? And he was in a sanctuary status, being hibernated by a religious doctrine. So city governments are not religion. State governments are not religion. They're government. Separation between church and state. United States Supreme Court. So when you continue this pattern of considering yourself being a sanctuary city and a sanctuary state, you're in violation of the Constitution of the United States of America. And the punishment can lead to fine and imprisonment by city mayors, by city governors, or every government official within the city and the state. In time, they will be held liable for this act of monstrosity that they're occurring using the sanctuary status. Because in time, America is not a sanctuary. That's to clarify it. That should clarify it immediately. So to think that you can have a sanctuary inside of America, you're not a native Indian. The native Indian are sovereignty, not migrants, undocumented. I think they should hurry up and get this cleared up. But I think it's going to be done under the Trump administration. Once he's continue with the Venezuelans, the Somalians, and all others, then everybody will understand and see what Trump and why he was telling the truth.